I'm Tim Sanders, and I'm 56. I'm a cartoonist and an illustrator, and occasionally a kind of educationalist. I do a bit of work in schools and other things related to that, and adult education as well. I do some occasional teaching in various places, universities and education centres, that sort of stuff. But I suppose I like them equally for different reasons. I enjoy my drawing and artwork work because that's what I do. That's my thing. I love that. And the educational stuff is nice because it's a good opposite to the drawing work in the sense that it's less solitary. So you're working with people all the time, and you get the interaction is very, very nice. Having a kind of a visual or a problem to solve, or not just quite if you're illustrating, say, an article about, I don't know, overeating or something like that, you've got to find some sort of way of finding a visual way into that discussion, and so that's a challenge. You have to come up with something which people look at, get interested in, it draws them into the article, that sort of thing, or make a joke about it if you're doing a cartoon, and the joke has to lead somewhere. It has to be, make people think, really. So all of that is an enjoyable challenge, yeah. Well, I had a part-time job when I was at school, filling boilers with Coke, and I was about 16, 17, something like that. I've been an illustrator, cartoonist for, oh God, quite a long time now. But I mean, I suppose 20, 25 years, something like that. Probably a bit more, because it's something I kind of slowly edged into. I was doing other jobs. I had a full-time job at a printer's doing page design and layout and stuff like that, and got into this drawing stuff because occasionally the copy would fall short, there'd be a hole, and I'd say, I'll draw something to fit into that. And so I did, and so that little by little, I came to do what I'm doing now. My hand's a lot shakier now, so it's all sort of, no, it's just an accumulative process. It just goes on changing the whole time. You learn to see things in different ways and then draw them in different ways. And in some ways it's got much better and more sophisticated at the level of ideas. And strangely enough, at the level of execution, it's got a bit cruder in some way, but intentionally. So I mean, that might change. It might go another way. I might work in a different way in the future. I hope so. I mean, I hope to keep changing. Yeah. I mean, there's been a massive move towards information technology, especially in the kind of media areas, but everywhere. Especially in the sector I work in, there's been huge changes. I mean, there's been a lot less people working in the sector that I'm working in than there were before. There used to be a lot of people working in newspapers and magazines, and publishing has really changed dramatically. It's still going through lots of changes. So yeah, that's changed a lot. Well, statistically, it's younger people who are having more problems getting work, isn't it? I mean, according to the news and stuff. But yeah, I think there are problems. But I mean, I know people who have lost their jobs or whatever, and they found it very difficult to find work. Having said that, I mean, there's people who quite a lot more people now are self-employed to one extent or another. And some people do okay with that. Officially, I work less hours, but I do a lot more childcare now than I used to. Being freelance, it also depends on how much work you've got. And so sometimes I'm working a lot more, and sometimes I'm working a lot less. But I squeeze more into a smaller time now as well. I know how I should be going about getting new work, and I do some of that. But you have to be visible, so you have to be on social media and send out examples to lots of people. You have to be quite active in pursuing work, which isn't one of my enormous strengths, but it's just a reality of life. You have to do it. Say, for instance, you do a job application, you don't get it. It would be easy to think, well, that's because of my age, and it might be, but you don't really know. So I couldn't point to any, and I know people who do say that that's the case. But then again, one person who said that to me just recently got a job, so, you know. I don't really want to retire from drawing. I want to do that until I drop, really. But I wouldn't mind not having to rely on work so much to get by, but I mean, that's what everyone does, really, so I don't know. I haven't got any immediate plans, I wouldn't say. If I was to give advice to someone who's turning 50 and wanted to start their own business, I would say, make sure it's something you're really, really interested in and really want to do, because you need a lot of energy and passion to keep doing stuff like that, because it's quite tough. So, yeah, make sure it's something you want to do, especially if you've spent a lot of years doing stuff that you're not particularly bothered about doing. I think people stop feeling their true age after about 32 or something like that. You have a kind of mental image of yourself as being a lot younger than you are. Well, I do. I don't know why. I think you just stop, you stop checking reality, I think. It's quite wise as well.